All right, example 6. This is going to be another question on your first test. It's going to be similar to this one. Use the graph to decide whether the values of the given quantities exist. If it does, find it. If not, explain why. Okay? So the first one is f of -2. So this is not limit notation. So this is just to take when x is equal to -2, plug it into this function and see if that point exists. Well, you can see here, when x is -2, we have a vertical asymptote here. So here, we would say, does not exist or undefined. Undefined. And the reason why is because we have a vertical asymptote at x equals -2. Okay, so that's A. Let's look at B. The limit of f of x as x approaches -2. Okay, so to show any limit, to show if it exists, we're going to use the limit of f of x. Let's do this over here. Notice that the limit of f of x as x approaches -2 from the right. So from the right, this is approaching positive infinity. And then look at the limit of f of x as x approaches -2 from the left. Well, that's approaching negative infinity. Therefore, because of that, this limit does not exist. And this would be your explanation. Okay, let's look at C. C is f of 0. F of 0 is right there. So this would be equal to 4. Let's look at D. The limit of f of x as x approaches 0. Right? So again, let's go over here. Let's look at the limit of f of x as x approaches 0 from the right. Okay, so from the right, this equals 4. And the limit of f of x as x approaches 0 from the left, this would be 1, this is going to be 1/2. So again, because these one-sided limits don't equal each other, this is going to be does not exist. Okay? Next, f of 2. f of 2 is right here. This is going to be undefined because no point exists there. So this would be undefined. Part F, the limit of f of x as x approaches 2. Okay, so this is different than the function notation. Again, we'll come over here. We'll do our one-sided limits. So the limit of f of x as x approaches 2 from the right, that's going to equal 1/2. And the limit of f of x as x approaches 2 from the left, that's also going to be equal to 1/2. Since these one-sided limits equal each other, we can say that this limit does exist, and it would equal 1/2. Right? Now f of 4. F of 4 would be right here, which would be 2. Okay. The limit of f of x as x approaches 4. Again, here we're going to want to use one-sided limits. So we're going to do the limit of f of x as x approaches 4 from the right. That's going towards positive infinity. And then the limit of f of x as x approaches 4 from the left. That's also going to approach positive infinity. Since the one side of the limits equal each other, we can say that this limit overall exists and it equals positive infinity. Okay, so there's that example.